Okay, so for this assignment, you're gonna need a black half sheet of paper and a white charcoal pencil. We're gonna do 3 parts to this assignment, so when it's all done, it's gonna look like this. So make sure that you save room for all 3 of these, okay? So we're gonna start off with, okay, focused. We're gonna start off with our value scale. And it's just like you would do a value scale with a regular pencil. So I'm going to start off by drawing a rectangle off to the side. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, now we're going to shade this in so that it starts light and gradually gets darker. So keep in mind, it's gonna be pretty much the same, but you should keep in mind that you're adding your light values with your pencil and your dark values are already on the paper. So starting up top here, I'm gonna burnish, which means that I'm adding as much pressure on my pencil to cover all of the paper, so it's as bright as it possibly can be. And try my best to stay inside of my rectangle. Okay, so unlike adding value with your pencil when we practice blending with our finger or with a tissue, I would like for you to just try blending just by adding less and less pressure with your pencil. So that means that you need to have your pencil at an angle and you should be shading in circles so that we can't see your pencil lines. And then blend into the black of the paper. All right, you can pause if you need more time, but I'm going to move on to the sphere. Okay, so I'm going to draw a circle. I'm going to make it fairly large. I'm just going to sketch it. And I like to rotate my paper to make sure that I'm making a round and even circle. Just like that. Okay, we are going to pull some skills from when we shaded those spheres with our regular pencil, but this is going to look different because, again, we are adding our highlights and our midtones instead of our shadows and our midtones. Our paper's already black, we're adding the light values. So I'm going to start by drawing my light source. I'm going to put it up in the top right corner. Okay, and if you remember us shading in the spheres, we were shading with our shadows first, and we were shading with the curve of the sphere, and then we ended up with a white highlight about right here. Okay, so I'm going to start with the highlight this time. I'm going to shade in a bright spot, not all the way at the edge of my circle because I want to show that this object curves backwards, so a little bit off center. And then I'm going to progressively add less and less pressure as I make my way around this highlight. So just like I was doing in my value scale down here, I'm going to shade with my pencil at an angle in small circles and just work my way around my highlight. And then as I get to the edge of the sphere, blending in to the black of the paper. Okay, and I'll leave a little bit of thin shadow that's as dark as the paper. Okay, I want you to add a shadow on your imaginary surface. So let's draw an outline. And remember, like last time, the shadow's gonna start at the front, be very thin, and go in the opposite direction of our light source. So we'll put it at an angle here. I need to erase this mark. Okay, so our shadow is going to be our darkest point in this drawing, but our paper is already black. So instead of shading in the shadow space, I want you to make your table space around it just a little bit lighter. So I'm going to brighten up this area. I'm not going to shade in my whole table, just enough space to make my point that this is the shadow. I think that's good. All right, so that's all we did in day one. I'm going to make a second video for what we'll do on day two.